Welcome to a special episode where I fix my mistakes. This is the Legends Expanded Universe chronological timeline rating, where I go through the expanded universe according to my chronological timeline order and rank each out of a 10-point scale. And I missed something. This is a 2.5 episode because I missed something that slotted in between stories quite some time ago. This being a story called The Creation According to the Ssi-Ruuk, which is a short story that takes place in 100,000 BBY or somewhere around there, circa that time. It's a short story. It was published by West End Games and was written by Kathy Tyers. It was found in the Truce at Bakura sourcebook. And I don't remember what year it was published, but, you know, it'll be on the screen. So with this one, it details something very interesting. It details the first egg, and so it's detailing and chronicling the creation of the Ssi-Ruuk according to them. So they have a deity named Ssi, and he's the creator of the first egg, and then you have these separate groups, because they create multiple eggs. So multiple groups of the Ssi-Ruuk come from different eggs. And there's one group of eggs that come from the P'w'Eck. And the P'w'Eck, don't know if I'm saying that right, are obviously kind of the ancestors of the P'w'Eck. And the P'w'Eck are kind of greedy, and they fight with the Ssi-Ruuk, who are like kind of the favored ones by the deity throughout the story. And as punishment, when the Ssi-Ruuk defeat the P'w'Eck, the P'w'Eck are sentenced to being their indentured servants. That they're in their servitude now. They're their slaves. They take orders from them, which is when we see way later in Truce at Bakura, the P'w'Eck are the servants. You know, they're the lower caste, the breed that they don't care about, the unspecial subspecies. You know, they're all kind of the same species, but there's the Ssi-Ruuk and there's the P'w'Eck. And the Ssi-Ruuk are, you know, more divinely favored, and the P'w'Eck are sentenced to servitude because of how their ancestors, the P'w'Eck, went about. And, you know, there's a subnote from Voron now that says most of this was ancient text. There have been some add-ins, so what happened, is this a completely accurate account, since there's evidence that this account has been tampered with, and there's been some late add-ins, but most of it is ancient historical artifacts that tell the story of the first egg, which is the creation account according to the Ssi-Ruuk, the title of the story. Now, what do I think of this one? This is really cool, honestly. I really like the idea of, you know, creation accounts from multiple species. It's very cool. They're all going to have a different view of how they came to be. You know, the Wookiees will have a different view from the humans, from the Ssi-Ruuk. So it's interesting to hear how they believe life was started for their corner of the galaxy, and for their peoples. Super, super interesting. And, you know, some people hate on the Ssi-Ruuk, but I really like the Ssi-Ruuk. I think they're a really cool concept, really cool idea. I always appreciated them and thought we really needed them to return beyond the Woeful Force Heretic trilogy. So, you know, this is a good, fine story. Any problems with it? None to speak of. There's nothing negative to report here. Positives are just the writing style is really cool. Kathy Tyers did a good job making this feel ancient and really like the Genesis account. You know, like an ancient telling of history from some of the people's point of view. In the Ssi-Ruuk there, and it's honestly a really interesting read. Hard to pronounce some of it. There's words like P'w'Eck, and there's the P'w'Eck and the Ssi-Ruuk, and you know, it's some hard stuff to pronounce. All very fun when it comes to you know, the Ssi-Ruuk and all of their pronunciations there. So cool to learn more about the space velociraptors. Overall, I would give this a 3 of 10. It's a good, fine short story. Do I think you should read it? If you're a Truce at Bakura fan, sure, read it. Get the Truce and Bakura sourcebook. There's tons of stories in there. And definitely read this one, because this gives some good background on a historical species, and it's some ancient text from the primitive galaxy. Super, super cool. Crazy how I overlooked this. This is a cool little short story. So glad I found out about this. Had no idea this existed until today, which is why I'm doing a spontaneous out and about review. But yeah, this was fun. Let me know what you thought of this story. Hopefully Marcel, the revanchist, will have an audio recording of it for you to listen to shortly. Was talking with him about that, and it seems that could be on the way. So go over there, check him out. You'll read the story for you. It'll be great. So that was the creation according to the Ssi-Ruuk. I thought it was good, fine, interesting story. Worth your time? Yes and no. Not overall important to the narrative story, but for Truce and Bakura fans, this will be fun. You'll enjoy this. So, interesting lore for space velociraptors. It was cool. So, what about you guys? What did you think of the creation according to the Ssi-Ruuk?